A human can possibly live for a maximum of 130 years. Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. Human life cycle. An egg from the mother is fertilized by a sperm from the father and grows into an embryo inside the mother's womb. At first, this creation looks like a bundle of cells. By about 8 weeks, this bundle of cells gradually turns into the shape of the human body. After 9 months in the mother's womb, the baby is born. Babies from birth to 1 year are also known as infants. This is how they communicate as they still cannot talk. Babies are usually fed on mother's milk. The baby grows into a child. It slowly learns to crawl and then walk, talk, run, jump, eat by itself and others. In the stage childhood, children can be divided into toddlers, preschoolers, and primary school children. At the stage adolescence, the child grows into an adolescent through a period called puberty. Puberty usually takes place in the child's teenage years, starting from 30 years up to 90 years of age. Therefore, adults are also called teenagers. During the puberty, a rapid growth and changes of the body take place. These include changes of the body shape, growing hair on some parts of the body. Similarly, people who are from age 20 years to 65 years old are called adults. Adults can reproduce, make their own families, and so continue the life cycle. Adults can be divided into young adults, middle-aged adults, and older adults. Starting from age of 65 years old. Average life expectancy of a human can vary from 70 to 85. It depends on the health of each person. The human life cycle ends at this age.
Prenatal development. Development happens quickly during the prenatal period, which is the time between conception and birth. This period is generally divided into 3 stages: the germinal stage, the embryonic stage, and the fetal stage. Germinal, embryonic, fetal, Stage number 1, the germinal stage. The 2-week period after conception is called the germinal stage. Conception occurs when a sperm cell combines with an egg cell to form a zygote. About 36 hours after conception, the zygote begins to divide quickly. Around 7 days after conception, the ball of cells start to become embedded in the wall of the uterus. This process is called implantation and takes about a week to complete. If implantation fails, as is quite common, the pregnancy terminates. One key feature of the germinal stage is the formation of the tissue called the placenta. The placenta has 2 important functions. Number 1, passing oxygen and nutrients from the mother's blood into the embryo or fetus. Number 2, removing waste materials from the embryo or fetus. Stage number 2, the embryonic stage. The embryonic stage lasts from the end of the germinal stage to 2 months after conception. The developing ball of the cell is now called an embryo. In this stage, all the major organs formed and embryo becomes very fragile. At the end of the embryonic period, the embryo is only about an inch long. The biggest dangers are teratogens, which are agents such as viruses, drugs, or radiation that can cause deformities in an embryo or fetus. This is a picture of an embryo. This is us. Cute, right? Stage number 3, the fetal stage. The last stage of the prenatal development is the fetal stage, which lasts from 2 months after conception until birth. About 1 month into this stage, the sex organs of the fetus begins to form. The fetus quickly grows as bones and muscles form. Organ systems develop further and start to function. During the last 3 months, the brain increases rapidly in size and a resulting layer of fats form under the skin, and the respiratory and the digestive system start to work independently.
Next stage is childhood. Childhood can be divided into 3 parts, which are toddler, preschooler, and also primary school. During this time, the children learn how to walk, begin to talk in sentences, and be more self-sufficient. These skills continue to expand during the remainder of childhood and socialization takes place. They typically weigh 3 times what he or she did at birth and also have several teeth. The human brain continues to grow new neurons until the child is 2 years old. Toddlers at this age, they need to try new flavors and textures. Toddlers actually have little tummies, so parents need to serve them with food that packs with nutrients to make sure they grow healthy and strong. These are some examples: milk, broccoli, salmon, and also whole grain bread contains iron and vitamin C. Kids at this age have a lot of questions that lingering in their mind about everything that happens around them. When the kids play, they attempt to create the new world. During the preschool years, children should be eating food with nutritional value. For instance, fresh vegetables, fruits, non-fat or low-fat dairy products, meat, whole grain cereals, and bread. During the preteen years, the brain's ability to plan a set action and store that plan is at a level that allows youngsters to improve in all sports, most notably in those with more complex skills and rapid decision making. These are some examples of childhood stage. Next stage is adolescence. The change from being a child to an adult, which happened during the teenage years, is called adolescence. For examples, during puberty, boys and girls get more hair on their bodies. Girls usually start puberty at around the age of 10. Their growth spurt earlier than the boys. By around the age of 16, girls have reached their adult high. Boys gain muscle during puberty. They reach their full high by around the age of 16. Their muscles continues to develop. So these are some examples of.
Now we are talking about adulthood. After puberty, men have 1.5 times as much bone and muscle mass as women. Women have twice as much body fat as men. By early to mid-20s, humans reach their adult size. The bone stops growing and brain is fully matured. They in their peak reproductive years. Women who reproduce at this time have least complicated pregnancies. After the age of 30, hormones level declines, wrinkles and grey hair appear, bones lack of calcium, muscle mass decrease, skin becomes thinner and less flexible, blood vessels stiffen, and brain cells begin to die. Starting around age of 35, a human may lose 100 of brain cells per day. and by the age of 50, some women will stop ovulating and menstruating. When we are old, what happens when we are getting older? Cells cannot divide themselves and replaces as they die, known as mitosis. Some cells lose their ability to repair mistakes in DNA, which can cause the cancer. Osteoporosis, arthritis, stroke, Parkinson's disease, and also Alzheimer's disease. These are common diseases within aging.